Hi Will, my name is David Fitzgerald, and I've been trying to contact you about a problem I've been having with my Helix here. And specifically, it's where my flight controller is not being able to power on without the use of the computer and being connected through the USB. I'll get in a close up in a little bit. Um, but I've run some tests with my multimeter here, and I've tried crossing both the 3 volt and 5 volt to see if that would up the amperage originally, just to the receiver. But that ended up not being the entire problem, I think. I was not too familiar with the layout of this board before I got it, but I did watch a couple of build videos such as Crazy's and UAV Features. Uh, and the big problem here is I don't think the flight controller is actually getting voltage from the battery. The motors are able to get their startup signal, but not completely complete it. I think they have like 3 beeps or something like that. Once again, I'll show it in a couple seconds. But the voltage is still able to go to the motors, but not to the flight controller. And the flight controller can only get voltage when powered by the computer, as I'll demonstrate here. Part 2. We're going to take a look at the Helix right now. So, don't mind this, I ended up burning the buzzer with my soldering iron. But I've redone these connections here, going to the receiver. I made sure there's no crossing of the wires. For my receiver, it's supposed to get 3.3 volts. It is the Spectrum FPV Racing. It's the SAT. It's the $25 one. Doesn't have telemetry. I'm running a DX6i. Want to upgrade, but haven't done it yet. And then, as you're supposed to, I crossed the 3 volt, not the 5 volt. Hard to see, but it's there. 5 volt has solder on it, but it's not connected. This is the rest of it. LEDs. That was pretty hard to solder, but I ended up taking the camera off, and now I'm going to show you what it's doing. Alright, now we're going to take a look at the voltage when the battery is plugged in and how the flight controller reacts. First, I'm going to have to set this down so I can plug this in. Listen for the startup tone. 3 just from the motors, and there are no lights on the board whatsoever. I can confirm that there is voltage running through the board right now. Well, specifically to the motors. There is about 1.5 volts here in the going to the receiver, when it should be 3, as I stated before. It is cross 3 volts here, and there's about 0.02 volts going back to the LEDs. I'm not sure what's up there, and disregard this. Burned it a little bit, but yeah, there is voltage here in the board, but no lights are showing. So now I'm going to show what happens when I plug it in, and this is how I think it should act all the time. Alright, that's the entire startup process. Let me turn on my radio over here. Lights blinking on the receiver, showing it's getting voltage. There is a green light on. I'm not sure if that's just because it got connected, or if that should be on all the time. And then we can go in here, connect it to Betaflight. Oh, it failed. Let's try this one more time. So that's the startup once again. So everything's working. Solid light now. I had to turn my transmitter on first. Connect here. Wait a sec. Alright. We can see it is reading the voltage of the battery correctly. 15.3 volts. I've tried it with several other batteries. There's one over there. That doesn't make a difference. We can see that it is properly getting moving correctly. This orientated wrong, but that works. I'll show you the motor spin while arming it, only while it's connected. So, pressing the turn on or arm switch. Motors work. Okay, motors work. Everything works when, keep note, when it's plugged in. I'm now going to unplug it. Alright, you can see it got disconnected. No more lights, nothing. Battery is still connected, nothing else changed. Only that it's not plugged in anymore. Going to try to arm, same as I did before. Nothing. No lights on the board. Arming doesn't work, nothing changed. Alright, that's the problem I'm facing right now. You asked for a close-up. I think I gave it a good one. I'm recording in 4K right now. You should be able to zoom in quite a bit. Those are all my solders. I've checked that there's no crosses. I've checked with the multimeter over here. There are no shorts. Yep. I think that should do it. So please let me know if there's anything else you need. I was planning on heading out to Flight Fest East in about a week or so. So I think I'm going to have the express shipping. I probably can pay for that. But I'd really appreciate it if you got back to me pretty quickly. And any suggestions, maybe, if it's not requiring a replacement, on what I can do differently and how I can fix it. Thanks so much.